All right, welcome back. It is Super Sports Saturday on AM 1250. Tom Uvaas is in to talk about boys swimming and diving. Coach, another undefeated dual meet season. I know at the beginning of the year you may not have thought it was going to happen, but your guys worked hard and you beat Alexandria. Congratulations.
Well, thank you so much. We had a lot of good fortune this season, and it was just to recap the beginning of the season. We had Matthew Jacobson, who could not swim in a meet, and that was a huge loss to us.
Yeah.
Keegan Hurley was in Perm, and that's a huge loss also. And not really knowing how well our kids would develop, and really the seniors did just a great job, and the divers. I mean, we've talked about diving all season, and they're, you can be good in one meet as a diving group, but their consistency of excellence has been very impressive, and I just hope they maintain their good health and maintain their consistency of focus, and they could have a very nice CLC conference meet, and for sure we hope a good section.
I think we've spent more time talking about the divers this year than any other year, and it's because of their success and their hard work.
Well, absolutely, and talent. We've always said that, there's a lot of talent there, and hats off to Coach Hartwell. He's a very good coach, a very good person, period, and you just always hope that you have that opportunity to have some talent like that, and it's coming through.
Relays have always been a strong point of this Otter team, at least as far as I can remember. You go out and win 3 relay events, including the 200 medley relay against Alexandria. A good bunch of kids there.
Very good, and the Alex meet was like almost a ditto of Brainerd. Alex is very deep. Alex won the True Team Section 5 meet, and shows you how much depth they have. And we really had to perform in our relays. We pre-scored the meet. We had a couple more give and take events because Alexandria has a couple of really outstanding swimmers, so we didn't take every first, but we performed what we had to do. And plus, it's an away meet, and it's always different when you swim at your competitor's pool. It's a different venue. Alex has a very nice pool there, but it's a very quiet pool, and it's one that if you are not into the meet, you can actually fall asleep. And I told the kids, I said, you have to really be on top of this one because you can actually roll back and then realize that I meet. And our kids performed well. And not just our seniors, the whole group from 7 through 12. I mean, we've had a really good season for all these kids, and I think they've grown as young men, and I think they've been very entertaining for sure and great competitors.
How much do you guys, I know you've had several home meets, how much do you feed on that energy that the Otter fans provide?
A lot. It's huge. It's really quite amazing. And I think I'll give you an example. The Alexandria pool last night, or Thursday night, it was maybe 1/3 full. And I think we have probably as many Otter fans there as the Alexandria Cardinals there. I mean, I may have a few more.
Yeah.
But you come to our pool and it's packed. And that's a huge, I think, compliment of our community, how much we support sports, and it's very nice to see, and it does make a huge difference.
Well, your guys aren't just a relay kind of team. You do very well in the individual events. Joe Kitzman went out and won the 200 IM and the 500 freestyle as well, on top of some of those relays.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned Joe because he's one of the main persons I want to talk about. Again, Joe can swim anything, and what we did is we tried to figure out where we could attack Alexandria, and so we kind of we needed somebody in the 500, and they have a very good 500 swimmer. They didn't put him in there; they moved him in a different event. But Joe's mission was to take second place in that if this one very, very good 500 swimmer had been in there. But Joe right away knew who the competition was, and of course seized the moment and took first in the 500, swimming his best time by I believe 6 seconds, and then of course in the IM he dropped his time by 3 seconds there. So he's the real deal, as you'd say.
Speaking of time drops, as you go on through the season, it's harder and harder to shave off smaller and smaller, I guess, measures of time. Are you still seeing the times come down?
We are. Of course, in Joe's case, the IM he had not had a chance to swim in since December, and the 500 the same thing. So probably if Joe would have been in the fly in the back, it would have been probably, and to be quite honest with you, this is the type of meet where our coaching style is you go for the place, not the time. Actually, we would prefer them not doing a very fast time because we want them to save their energy. It's a long meet. And we want them to save their energy for the 400 free relay. So you don't want to have all your energy out of your tank when you need to be at your best possibly in a relay. So again, it goes back to smart competing, and you have to really know what you're doing here. And I mean, Joe, again, is a very smart swimmer, and I told him, swim the IM just to win it, because we're going to need you in the 500, and plus we're going to need you in the relays coming up, and he did.
How aware are these swimmers of their surroundings when they're in the water? I mean, because, again, you're not going for time, you're going for place. You got to be aware of where those other guys are.
Boy, that's a great question. We do a lot in practice where we can do crossover breathing, so we kind of know where our competition is. Off turns, you have some visual there because of goggles. But the key thing is, and I think we're really working on, is pace management in the race. And you have to know what your time is. You have to feel for your time. And sometimes we'll ask the kids who do a 50 and say, how can you guess your time? So we want them to understand their pace, so they know exactly where they are in their race and how much energy they use and their heart rate. So it's the thing about swimming training-wise is that it's a very tight compartment. It's a 25-yard pool, and the elements are always constant. We don't have wind, we don't have rain, we don't have sun. Mm-hmm. We're inside, and we can really do an awful lot where we count strokes. We do a set that we got from Bob Bowman where we count strokes, and we want to know exactly how many strokes it is to the wall, so you can do your turn without even looking at the wall.
Are you allowed to be on the deck and call out times at all, or not?
No.
Okay.
No, but we have done the 500, and actually the boys have done this, and the girls have done this much more than I would do. Is they'll talk to the 500 swimmer, and they know what the pace is, and we use a numbering system. They'll be put in the water, and if their time is, let's say, right on, it might be up normal, and if it's off a little bit, it'll be upside down.
Okay.
Or if it's, they have these different signals. But to be quite honest with you, this is something that more the swimmers do, and our involvement is more just to talk about the pace and the psychology of it.
Tell me about Dominic Jones, a 50 freestyle and 100 breaststroke. A good sprinter for him, huh?
No, he's those are his two events, by the way, and he swam them, and he's mastered both of them. I was really particularly impressed by the breaststroke. I mean, the time was there, but I thought his power on that stroke has really improved, and we're doing a few more things. We've got about 2 weeks of training where we can kind of tweak a few things for sections and hopefully state, and I think that if we continue on that road, I think he's going to have a really nice section with Hope State.
I'm just going to go down the line. Andrew Sturger got a win in the 100 butterfly as well.
Yeah, he needed that, and on top of that, we needed that because we took Joe out of the fly, and so that was a really critical place for Andrew, and again, and he's really important in our relays. He was on the medley relay and the 400 free relay, and a very valuable person, and he's really coming on.
Tell me about the success of Cal Morriston, first place in the 100 free, and also, you had diving champions, but first Cal Morriston.
Well, it's really too bad we don't have another home meet, and I would just really say to some of us, or some out there, that next winter, if you really want to watch a very smooth swimmer, you got to watch Cal Morriston. Even the Alex fans were just amazed. I mean, he won the 100 freestyle. The 100 freestyle was an incredible race. We had Cal in there, we had Jacob Fisher, and they had two of their best freestyles in there. So the times were 50.0, 50.0, 51, 51.
Wow.
I tell you what, there is not another dual meet, probably in the state, that had four swimmers swimming like that in the 100 freestyle. I mean, those are solid times. Those are unbelievable times.
One of your swimmers placed second as well, Mr. Fisher.
Yeah, he did. And look how close the race was. I think it was 50.3, 50.4, something like that.
Actually, it was 50.75 and 50.84.
Yeah,
very close.
Yeah, just on the finish. So it was fun to see.
Absolutely. Who else do we need to talk about today? How about the divers? 1, 2, 3. Kyle Rust, Reed Magnuson, and Mike here. Is it Mickey Pistolka?
Yeah. Well, again, we got fantastic divers, and we're really happy for Kyle because he's a senior on that team. He's one of our captains, and Kyle's had some health issues, and we're just hoping he stays healthy because I think he's got a great way of concluding the season. But again, I mean, he looks so outstanding. I mean, he's doing twist dives. Matter of fact, what's really neat about the divers, and all of them, Michael Austin is too, we have 4 fantastic divers, is that they, after the first required dive, all the next dives are all 2.0 or more, which is unbelievable. And I don't think we're at. So they're either doing doubles or 1.5 inwards, or they're doing double twisting, whatever, vegetable dive, you name it. But it's unbelievable. I mean, and it's so fun to watch and how well they perform. And of course, they feed off each other. You mentioned that,
Yeah.
They do. I mean, when one does a good dive and the other one does a good dive, there's a comfort level there, and there's great chemistry. And again, I know Coach Hartwell is just really enjoying the moment.
Well, you've got a well-rounded team. There's no question. You had a couple of guys, Zach House and Clay Danielson, placed third for you, and I'm sure you like to build that depth.
Absolutely. And Zachary's another one of our seniors, and Zachary's very important in our 200 relays, both the medley and 200 free relay. And just is such a solid performer wherever he does. And again, the backstroke, he's a very good backstroke. He's a great flyer. I wish we had time to use him in the butterfly. I was kind of watching him practice last night, but and he is a great runner. And then I guess what was interesting, and this is kind of a side note, I suppose in the 100 backstroke, the person he was swimming against, they just got out touched for second place. I guess they run track against each other, and they're good friends there. So it's a pretty small world.
It really is. Anybody else in your mind had a really good meet against Alexandria?
Well, let's see. Let's go through here for a second. Well, again, Clay Danielson did a great job in the fly, and the IM he kind of made a little mistake there, but he finished the race, which was really important. That's what counts. I think for Mike Mortensen is a young man who's coming on for us. He's a freshman, and Mike is a boy who basically we can put him in anything. He's from IM for us. He's from the 200 freestyle. He's from the 100 fly. We put him in the 100 fly because he had a really good chance of possibly getting that 5th place. And again, the race was real close. And we can also put him in the 500 free. And that's been just out. Daniel Kowalski is an 8th grader who's really doing a great job for us. He swam the breaststroke, I believe, and took 4th place, I think. But he also can swim the sprints for us, and is one of the key persons in our relays. And but yeah, for our major players, those are the ones that really did a great job.
Well, you get all next week off. Coming into the Central Lakes Conference meet, you go to Sartell. Nice pool. I've seen that one, actually.
It's beautiful. High school.
Yeah, it really is. Diving competition is Thursday. What do you do all week to prepare? Do you push the boys, or do you lay off them a little bit?
Well, no, I think we have to really we have to look at the conference championship as a meet, because if you think about state, you don't have that luxury of tapering out. There'll be a few swimmers on this team we're going to taper off. Like Kyle Besky would be one, because we really want him to qualify in the 200 freestyle. And so he'll be a young man that we're going to spend some time working on pace. He's done great in the backstroke. I mean, he had some great times there. We're also going to Tyler Pyle, who's one of our 9th graders. We're going to has had really an unbelievable year. Actually, he's dropped 10 seconds in the 100 breaststroke this year. And his goal is to do a 115. It's at 122 right now. And I think that we're hoping to get 119. I mean, the 115 is our section cutoff time, which is, our section is tough. There are 14 teams in our section. And the cutoff times are unbelievable. There's no mercy there. So Tyler is, we're going to see if he can't get his best time at conference, which would be kind of a fun meet for him. And so I think for most of these kids, we're going to be training normal. We won't change very much. The trick here is, right now we are leading conference. We have 2+ points over everyone because we have only one that has an undefeated season. However, when you go in the conference championship, by what place you take determines how many points you get. And so if we can be within 2 points of Brainerd, then we'll probably be co-champions. So if Brainerd would take first and we take second, we'll be co-champions. But it could be as crazy as this. If Sartell would take first and Brainerd took second and we took third, we could have 3 conference championship teams. The beauty of that is it's really kind of neat, because now all the dual meets count. And before this, the conference championship was determined by that one meet.
Oh, yeah.
And so the dual meets didn't remain anything. But because the dual meets mean something, you have to perform every night. And so that's good. And then, of course, the conference championship means a lot, too. So it's going to be a fun meet. And, again, it's a great conference to be in. I'm sure Josh will tell you the same thing, that our athletes get to know athletes from other towns. There's a connection there. You're going to see them the following year, so you actually do build a pretty good relationship with them, and that's what it's all about.
All right, Tom. Anything else we need to touch on before we let you go?
No, thanks so much,
all right.
And have a wonderful Saturday.
You too. We'll hopefully talk again next week about that Again, Central Lakes Conference meet, but good luck to you and the Otter stuff.
Thank you.
Tom Uvaas with the Fergus Falls Otter boys swimming and diving team.